The following program is sponsored by Freedom Financial Group, Greater Birmingham's premier retirement planning specialists.
Welcome to Retiring Well, where it's our job to help you enjoy financial security in any economy. Well, we've got a great show lined up for you this week. We are talking about the difference between investing and planning and why it's so important that you understand the two. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show.
Retiring Well with Michael Reese, providing financial security in any economy. Today is the day you can take control of your financial future and eliminate worry about your money forever. Retiring Well with certified financial planner and retirement planning expert Michael Reese.
All right, the difference between investing and planning. What is the difference? Why is one different than the other? And how does it affect your retirement? That's what we're talking about today. And before we do, I have to share a little story with you. You see, you all know that I have a dog named Charlie, and Charlie is a very intelligent dog. And he was surfing the internet recently, and sure enough, he found this article, and he brought it to my attention. He said, "Hey, Dad, you've got to share this article with all the folks out there in your TV show." So I said, "What do you got, buddy?" And he showed it to me, and here's the title. I printed it out. Here's the title of the article that Charlie found for you. The title is, and this comes, by the way, from Forbes. The title is, "It's Official. Gurus Cannot Accurately Predict Markets." What the heck does that mean? Well, I just want to share a little bit of this article with you. In fact, it's very recent. It just came out, I think, last week. CXO Advisory Group has been collecting data from market forecasters since 1998. So it's been, 14 years now. They've graded thousands of market predictions by dozens of popular gurus over the years. The overall results are in, and they're not good. Because CXO's concluded that market experts accurately predict the market direction only, get this, 48% of the time. 48%. 48. What that means is they're out there telling you, buy this stock, buy that stock. It only goes up less than half the time. Meaning, so what does that mean, by the way? It means you could take a dart. So here's what you do. Take the Wall Street Journal, the page that lists all the stocks, and you spread it off all the way across your wall. You blindfold yourself. You take a dart, turn yourself around about 3 or 4 times, get nice and dizzy, have someone point you kind of towards the wall and just chuck that dart at the wall, and guess what? Buy the stock that your dart hit. And, the odds are about 50-50 that it'll make money. Guess what? That's better than listening to these gurus on TV. So it goes on further, by the way. So they say, for example, and by the way, they've had over 6,500 forecasts here. So statistically, it's been 48% for years. And they say, for example, popular Mad Money host Jim Cramer, right? This is the guy, Jim Cramer. He's got his sleeves rolled up and he's all jumping all over the place. 46.8% accuracy. Less than half the time. So what does that mean? When Jim Cramer tells you buy a stock, you know what you should do? You should reach in your pocket here, pull out a coin, flip it, and heads you listen to him and tails you don't, and guess what? He's probably wrong. You'd probably make more money betting against him than betting with him based on the results of this study. So my boy Charlie, what's he saying to me? He's saying, "Dad, check it out. All these gurus people watch on TV, they're worthless." And you know what? He's right. It's pure entertainment. Trying to listen, if you're buying stock based on what a guru on TV is saying, it's kind of like, watching the World Wrestling Federation and thinking it's real. I mean, it's not. It's just pure entertainment. That's all it is. And of course, after that, literally earlier today in the mail, I get this. From the American Association of Individual Investors. Yeah, isn't that cool? And I get this envelope and I open it up and here's what it says. It says, make 429% more profit than most in the stock market. In other words, they're saying we got this cool way to invest money that does better than everybody else. You know what that is? another guru, who cares, right? Worthless information. Folks, this is entertainment, at least all the shows are. Treat them accordingly. So our lesson of the week, don't listen to anybody on TV when it comes to buying individual stocks. Big mistake, don't do it. Might as well flip a coin and you get a better result. Okay, so how does that involve investing versus planning? All these people out there on TV, they're pushing investing, investing, investing. You know what? That's not planning. Coming up, we are going to talk about what the differences are and why it's so important to you. Don't go away.
Let's talk about retirement income. Studies show that a large number of retirees are worried about running out of money. Broken promises from banks, Wall Street, and the folks in Washington, D.C. may have you worried about your own retirement security.
Having a predictable income stream is a key ingredient to protecting your retirement. One potential way to do that is to have your income stream based on math and not markets.
It's one more reason that now, more than ever, you need to talk to a retirement planning specialist. Why not call the number on your screen right now? We'd love to talk to you about protecting your retirement. You've worked your entire life to become financially secure so you can enjoy a comfortable retirement. But when you get there, what's next? Wall Street and the financial media flood the airwaves with information about what you should and shouldn't do. But who are they working for? Who can you trust?
For the past 17 years, I've focused on helping people just like you protect and preserve their retirement security. And during that time, I've identified 7 different lies, each with the potential to destroy the security that you've worked so hard to build. I believe that you deserve to know the truth. And so I've built a website that hosts a series of videos that's free of charge that you can watch in the comfort and safety of your own home.
You don't want to miss out on these powerful videos that shine the light of truth on what can be a confusing topic. Why don't you go there now? It's absolutely free, and you'll be glad you did. www.retirementincomelines.com. You deserve to know the truth.
Let's talk about ways to protect your principal that have the potential to earn a decent return. Many of you want your money to be protected. That makes a lot of sense in today's unsettled economy. But it's difficult these days to find a place that pays you a reasonable amount of interest. It's frustrating. That's where we come in.
Ways to protect your principal with the potential to earn a decent return are available if you know where to look. We evaluate them every day.
It's one more reason that now more than ever, you need to talk to a retirement planning specialist. Why not call the number on your screen right now? We'd love to talk to you about protecting your retirement.
Welcome back to Retiring Well, where it's our job to help you enjoy financial security in any economy. Okay, so this week we are talking about the difference, if you will, between investments or investing and planning, and why it's so important that you know the difference, that you understand the difference. And we made a little bit of fun of gurus in the last segment. We read an article from Forbes that my boy Charlie found, and we kind of poked some fun at the track record of gurus. And yeah, we know that they're not really, they're more entertainment than they are actual real life strategy. But when it comes back to it, when you talk about investments and planning, for most people, and maybe you're one of them, you go to see your financial advisor, and really it's all about an investment discussion. So what is an investment discussion? What does that mean? Well, you sit down, you pull out a copy of your most recent statement, your financial advisor has a copy in front of him or her, and what are you doing? You're going down the list, you're saying, all right, let's take a look at these different components, let's see how they're performing, good or bad. Maybe you've got a performance statement in front of you as well. Let's take a look at your asset allocation. Let's make sure you get the right percentage in stocks and bonds and all these different things. Maybe your advisor is telling you, hey, we've got this, I want you to take some of your portfolio and move it over to this new hotshot money manager that we have because, boy, they do a great job. These are all investment discussions. And they're not bad. There's nothing wrong with them. I mean, you should have those types of discussions. But the problem is, for a lot of people, That's all there is when it comes to your retirement planning. That's it. That's all you got. All of your retirement planning, the discussion is around how your investments are doing. And you know what? Retirement is a lot bigger than that. So this is like when my mom and dad first retired. Now, you might have heard my story of my parents. I might have shared it with you before. But basically, my dad retires. It's 1999. And, he comes to me with his 401k and he says, hey, I want you to help me with my retirement planning. So what does that mean to me? It means, okay, let's take this money. Let's put it in a balanced portfolio, about half in stocks, half in bonds. Let's take income and off we go. And we're going to take 4% income. That was the deal. And everything went well until a couple of planes decided to fly into the World Trade Center. And the next thing you know, the market crashes, my parents' portfolio crashes, and their income is cut in half for the rest of their lives. You know what? I didn't have an income plan for them. We were operating, we were all sniffing the drug called hopium. We were hoping everything would work out. Well, you've watched the show, you know that there are 5 areas of retirement planning. You need an income plan, an investment plan, a health care plan, a tax plan, and an estate plan. Well, I had an investment plan for my parents, but what was I missing? I didn't have an income plan for them. An income plan is a plan that delivers stable, reliable income to you no matter what the markets do. Right? An income plan is based on what we know. It's a sure thing. We're not sniffing that drug called hopium. We are rooted in the real world. An income plan makes sure that that income comes to you each and every month, no matter what. I didn't have that for my parents. I failed them at that time. An investment plan, well, we all have that. That's what we talk about. You need to have a health care plan. You need to have a tax plan. My goodness. When's the last time your financial advisor and your tax advisor sat down together to actually prepare a tax plan for you? How about this? You have retirement plans probably. Those are your highest taxed assets during retirement. So once you're retired, an IRA, 401k, 403b, they are your highest taxed assets. Well, what's your plan? How are you transitioning from those very tax toxic assets and moving towards more tax efficient accounts? What's your plan? Well, you're not going to get that just sitting there talking to your broker about your asset allocation or the hot manager of the day. You see, retirement planning is a lot bigger than investment planning. Investment planning is saying, okay, which stock should we be buying? Which mutual fund? Which exchange traded fund? Where should we be setting these accounts? That's part of it. But retirement planning is a much bigger deal. And retirement planning is telling you, look, when you do your investment planning, here's a percentage that you're going to put in growth-related accounts, and here's a percentage you're going to put in fixed. Retirement planning is all about saying, hey, when it comes to your investments, here's how much you need to carve out to guarantee that income. Retirement planning is all about taking a look at your overall assets and saying, hey, you got this money in your IRAs, here's how we're going to transition out of those accounts to save you a ton of taxes down the road. Folks, planning is a much bigger deal than investing. Investing is just a small part of it. And if your advisor isn't helping you with the planning side, then you, my friend, are missing out. All right, coming up, we are going to ask the expert.
Let's talk about a customized retirement plan. Retiring today is not what it used to be. What works for your neighbor may not be best for you. Yet everywhere you turn, it seems like financial firms are giving cookie-cutter advice.
Your circumstances are different than anyone else's. As a chartered retirement planning counselor, my Retirement Roadmap Review is designed to uncover the must-know facts for your situation before we start implementing solutions.
It's one more reason that now, more than ever, you need to talk to a retirement planning specialist. Why not call the number on your screen right now? We'd love to talk to you about protecting your retirement. Let's talk about retirement income. Studies show that a large number of retirees are worried about running out of money. Broken promises from banks, Wall Street, and the folks in Washington, D.C. may have you worried about your own retirement security.
Having a predictable income stream is a key ingredient to protecting your retirement. One potential way to do that is to have your income stream based on math and not markets.
It's one more reason that now, more than ever, you need to talk to a retirement planning specialist. Why not call the number on your screen right now? We'd love to talk to you about protecting your retirement. And now, Ask the Expert, featuring Chartered Retirement Planning Counselor Tad Hill.
All right, this week we're talking about the difference between investing and planning. So tell me, in your neighborhood, to what degree are people really planning, or are they really just investing? And how does that affect them?
Well, it's interesting that you asked that question, because actually that's the main thing that I think is missing for most people. They don't actually have a retirement plan. And here's what a retirement plan is. A good retirement plan is a decision-making process so that we make sure we aren't leaving information out or we're not using misinformation. So it's designed to sit down and ask the questions that are critical to your retirement success and getting the answers to those before we start making investment decisions. So some of those questions are: how much income are you going to need from your investments? How exactly do we structure your investments to generate that income? Are we going to need long-term health care? Are we going to need to take taxes into consideration? So that's really what's missing from most folks' plan.
So when you come across people like that, what are you telling them to do? What kinds of advice are you giving?
Well, what I'm telling people, Mike, is that it's important to have a plan. You know, we wouldn't build a house without a blueprint. So it's important that if we're going to retire, we have to have a plan on how to sustain our retirement. And again, it's about asking the right questions. It's about sitting down and really analyzing where we are. How much money's going out the door? That's a big one. One of the things I tell people is, look, don't just tell me how much it's going to cost to keep the lights on. We need to know actually what you're spending every year, because that's the cornerstone of a good retirement plan, is knowing what we're shooting for. There really is no rule of thumb. I've seen this, well, you need 70% or you need 80% of your pre-retirement income. I will tell you that that is all over the map when I meet with individual people. So it's critical that we're getting the right information and we're using that information to make good decisions with.
Are there any further thoughts that you want to add that you'd like our viewers to take away?
What I would say to people, Mike, is that if the only conversations you've ever had with your advisor were around what kind of investments you want and what your risk tolerance is, and there's really never been any diagnostics done before those decisions got made, you're not sure how much risk you have, you're not sure how much income you're generating, I would say give us a call, because that's what our Retirement Roadmap Review is designed to do, is to answer these questions for you before we make investment decisions.
All right, we've heard from your local retirement planning expert. Now it's my turn. You know, when it comes to retirement planning, always remember, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, and maybe I am, but this is so important. I don't want you to miss it. I don't want you to sit there in your chair in your lazy boy, turn on CNBC and watch Jim Cramer and think, oh my goodness, this is what I need to be doing with my retirement planning, because it's not. I don't want you to watch Susie Orman out there, because again, that's not planning. Okay, what do you need to do when it comes to your retirement? And look, if you're already retired, if you're within a couple years of retirement, even if you're within 10, 20 years of retirement, remember, retirement planning is all about 5 areas. You need to have an income plan. That's the most important area. If you're going to do anything, protect your income, because that's your lifestyle in retirement. The streams of money that you've got coming in every single month, like clockwork, that's your lifestyle in retirement. That is going to determine how comfortable you are. Number 2, you need an investment plan that supports those income streams. Number 3, you need to have a health care plan. Medicare, my friends, Medicare's a mess. It's a mess. It's like 5 times worse than the federal deficit, 5 times worse off than Social Security. It's a mess. You have to expect that you're going to have to pay more for your medical care going forward. So you need a health care plan. Number 4, you need a tax plan. Why in the world would you just sit there and throw off money to the IRS that you don't have to? You know, retirement plans, highly tax toxic accounts once you're retired. What are you doing about them? Are you just sitting there and just taking it? Or are you actually planning to reduce those taxes over time? And then finally, estate planning. You know what the biggest part of estate planning is? Making sure that your surviving spouse is in good shape. That's the most important part of estate planning. Everybody thinks wills, trusts, hey, we got to give money to our kids. And that's not hey, it's important, but it's not as important as taking care of your surviving spouse. So you need all of these areas touched on. And again, that's why I always encourage you every week, why not call the number on the screen? Why not call the number on the screen so that we can connect you with a local retirement planning specialist, someone who can help you take a good look at each of those areas and make certain that you are in great shape. All right, coming up, we are going to look at another IRA blow-up.
Let's talk about ways to protect your principal that have the potential to earn a decent return. Many of you want your money to be protected. That makes a lot of sense in today's unsettled economy. But it's difficult these days to find a place that pays you a reasonable amount of interest. It's frustrating. That's where we come in.
Ways to protect your principal with the potential to earn a decent return are available if you know where to look. We evaluate them every day.
It's one more reason that now more than ever, you need to talk to a retirement planning specialist. Why not call the number on your screen right now? We'd love to talk to you about protecting your retirement.
Hi Birmingham, Mike Reese here, and I have to tell you, I think you're very fortunate because one of the nation's top retirement planning experts is right there in your neck of the woods. It's my good friend Tad Hill. Tad and I, we get together with top financial advisors, gosh, 4 or 5 times a year anyway, just to brainstorm, figure out how we can better help you. Tad, why don't you take a moment and share with folks how you and Freedom Financial helps people with their retirement planning in Birmingham.
Well, Mike, as you know, we're chartered retirement planning counselors. So what we do is we sit down with you and help you put together a plan to secure your retirement so you have peace of mind and can accomplish all the goals that you want during your retirement years. And it's about understanding what questions to ask and putting that plan together. So for the folks that call the 800 number, I'm willing to set aside some time on my calendar to sit down and do exactly that. Review your situation and help you know what needs to happen to secure your retirement.
Folks, call that number now.
Traditionally, American retirees could look forward to 3 strong pillars of retirement income: a well-funded Social Security system, substantial corporate pensions with retiree health benefits, and a strong personal savings rate. Unfortunately, the booming population coming of retirement age has changed all that. Now, the responsibility for providing retirement income has largely shifted away from the government and employers to you. That's why we're offering a powerful, full-color special report, which explains the 10 most pressing variables you must consider when creating a sound retirement income strategy for the years ahead. You can get this informative report for only $4.95. Simply go to www.retiringwell.tv and click on Get Your Reports to order your copy today. But hurry, this is a limited time offer while supplies last. That website address again is www.retiringwell.tv. Let's talk about a customized retirement plan. Retiring today is not what it used to be. What works for your neighbor may not be best for you. Yet everywhere you turn, it seems like financial firms are giving cookie-cutter advice.
Your circumstances are different than anyone else's. As a chartered retirement planning counselor, my Retirement Roadmap Review is designed to uncover the must-know facts for your situation before we start implementing solutions.
It's one more reason that now, more than ever, you need to talk to a retirement planning specialist. Why not call the number on your screen right now? We'd love to talk to you about protecting your retirement.
Welcome back to Retiring Well, where it's our job to help you enjoy financial security in any economy. Well, we're reaching the end of the show, and as I like to do pretty much every week, I want to share with you an IRA blow-up. This week in our IRA blow-up, we have the story of Vulik versus the commissioner. Now, why do I share these stories with you? It's because 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, oftentimes we think they're simple plans. We open them up, we put our money in, we pick our funds, away we go, right? Here's the problem. Tiny little mistakes can create really big tax penalties, and this is what happened here. In this case, we have Mrs. Vulik, who cashed in her 401k. She got about $80,000. And she used the money because she had to refinance her house, pay off her son's wedding, and pay off some credit card bills. I'm not real sure how paying off your son's wedding counts as economic hardship, but there you go. She files her tax return and she pays tax on the 80 grand, but she's under 59 and a half. She says, no, I don't owe the 10% penalty because this is for economic hardship reasons. Well, the IRS came along. They said, problem here. There is no economic hardship clause that applies. Not only do you owe the $8,000, the 10% penalty that you didn't pay because you underreported your income tax liability, you owe a 20% penalty on top of it, or another $16,000, meaning you owe $24,000 in penalties. Well, as you can imagine, she didn't like hearing that. So she decides she's going to take this to court, to IRS court, tax court. And of course, what does she do? Does she hire competent help? No! I mean, if she had hired competent help, they would have told her, hey, you're wrong. But no, she's going to take on the IRS and she's going to represent herself. That's what she does. And the court basically just rules against her completely. She was crushed in tax court. And what happened was the tax court said, ignorance of the law is no excuse. In other words, hey, we don't care that you don't know what the law is. The law is the law. You didn't follow it. You got to pay. So she got crushed. What's the lesson learned? Be really, really careful taking money out of your retirement plans before you're 59 and a half under the economic hardship clauses, because a lot of times they don't even exist. The reality is always look for another place to get money other than your retirement plan if you're younger than 59 and a half. That's always a last resort. Okay, I think that pretty much wraps up our show this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Talking about investing versus planning. Make sure you're talking to a retirement planning specialist. Take care, everybody.
The preceding program was sponsored by Freedom Financial Group, Greater Birmingham's premier retirement planning specialists.